What's going on, everyone? It's Ben from the Intraday Investors YouTube channel, and today I'm going to go over the trades I took today in Boeing, BYND, and Roku. I just made a little bit over 500 bucks today thanks to my BYND swing from the last couple of days under that 120 daily level. So the profits from that were totaling just over 1,000 bucks from the last 6 days that I was in the trade, and I got just over 400 from it today, and the rest of my profits came from Roku and Boeing. Now, if we're looking at the 5-day chart today, on BYND, you can see that's that 120 level that I shorted at, and I just covered today under 99, well, under 100. This is where my exit was. This red candle here came up to 100 bucks, so that's where I exited it. Now, if we're gonna look at the daily level for BYND, we can see that 120 level that I'm talking about. Now, we did get a gap up in June above 120. And then that's what really set the price level when we were down here just a couple days ago at 120. I got it pointed out to me by a couple of guys I trade with, and we really decided that 120 was the level that we needed to short at. So that's when I took the position. I had one 105 call, or one 105 put, sorry, for this Friday, October 23rd expiry. And I ended up getting more than 100% on the return. It was a really, really great trade. And I think this was a really, really solid setup that we were able to capitalize over the last 5 or 6 days. Now, if we can move on to Boeing, let me just change the 5-minute chart. Boeing reported earnings this morning, and they gapped down, but they had news come out that their 337 or 737 MAX was going to go back to flying next year in 2020, so that propped the stock up a bit into that 350 resistance zone. Now, the trade here was above the pre-market high. Now this is an opening range breakout. It was above the previous day high, like I had gone over in my previous videos, above that 340 level. And then once it opened above that pre-market high, 347, that's when I got long on this candle here at 9:40 a.m. Now above 347, that's when I got long, and I ended up holding until it got to 349, made a couple candles, went into that 350 resistance zone and started to reject pretty hard, so that's when I exited. Was able to scratch about 25 bucks out of that trade, not too much. And then if we're gonna just go to Roku, now the Roku trade was just a pretty standard double bottom on the 5-minute chart earlier in the morning. I was able to capitalize on a $30 or $40 win just under this 129 level here at 10:35 a.m. when it broke under the 129. See the double bottom, the opening price. You could even call this an opening level setup, because it breaks underneath the opening price of the 5-minute candle to start the day. Now it gets under, drops 128 for maybe a minute or two, and then props up, and that's where I exited. If 128 didn't hold, I could see this thing going to 127 and lower, just because that pre-market low was 127. That might have even been a good spot to add if it would have broken. So that was my last trade, and I just wanted to go over another setup on CAT. Now CAT reported earnings, I believe, yesterday after the close, and they weren't great. They missed their earnings expectation from the street, and they missed their revenue expectation as well, and then they lowered their guidance for the full year. But this thing was still going up pre-market, so we're kind of thinking, okay, we gotta have a short bias on this thing now. I mean, they missed earnings, they missed revenue, and they lowered guidance for the year. Those are all pretty bearish signals on the stock. So when it opened, thinking, okay, maybe if it breaks 135, that's above the pre-market high. It's above the previous day high, so that's a pretty good opening range scenario that we can really trade. But the best trade ended up being the short under this 135 level, which was the pre-market high. Now, I didn't get in on this play, but I just wanted to point out that in my previous videos, I've been going over how strong it is to have the combination of a fundamental catalyst and a technical catalyst in the same trade. Now, this was one of them where it had a great fundamental catalyst, and we were at a really good position pre-market to make a great trade based on a high risk-to-reward scenario with this pre-market high and it being over the previous day high too. So that's a trade that we're going to want to look for in the future. Now, there's a couple other companies I'm looking forward to reporting earnings today. Now, after the bell, Microsoft, PayPal, and Tesla all report. So tomorrow, those are going to be some stocks in play that I'm going to be looking at. As well as most likely Roku. I'll be shorting BYND again tomorrow too. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give a like, and please just keep coming to this channel. I'm going to be uploading more and more, so it's really, really good to get some feedback for this channel. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks.